first ballot Trumpers all the way. You know,
Exactly.
that's what we're trying. We're trying to not make it so there's a second ballot.
Well, we'll see. What do you think the likelihood is?
The first ballot?
Yep.
I think it's very good. I mean, if you look at a lot of the networks, they're not counting the 54 unbound. They're saying they're like free agents.
Right.
And, you know, my goal, we already knew going into this that three districts were already lost from the get-go.
Which, actually, I would you like that or
Had or no had?
Whichever you're more comfortable with.
I'm fine either way. What do you think? I was on CNN the other day for an interview.
Yeah, I saw
So you're
that.
kind of catching me. You're
I
catching.
know.
Yeah, you're catching me at kind of a different standpoint.
Well, I think we're going to be doing packages and sort of more impromptu, you know, interviews all day Monday.
Certainly.
So that's what this is for.
Great.
And since you're open for sort of live interviews, if anybody's looking for an interview, would you be open to?
Yeah, send them over. And like I said, I'm going to be doing more of the cyber stuff right now because all these lists going around. Now there's like, I think I've seen like about 10 or 15 different lists going around. Even lists that are referencing us that weren't from our website.
Yeah, exactly.
Things like that.
So, all right, I'm going to set this up here. If you want to talk to me,
Okay.
I'll ask you just a few questions. You're going to tell me your name and where you're from.
Gabriel Keller, I'm from Pine Township in the 12th District, running as candidate for delegate to the Republican National Convention. I'm number 4 on the ballot.
Okay.
First Trump supporter on the ballot, including all the lists.
Okay.
Whatever list it is.
And you're also sort of organizing this grassroots effort here.
Someone termed, really, I view it as we've all been kind of working together, but there's a gentleman in the 18th, John Petrarca. He said, "You're what's going on here? Why aren't you on this list and this list and that list? You're like the Paul Revere of the western side of the state." And I'm like, "Oh, come on, man, we're all working together on this." But really, Matthew Jansen from the 4th District and Jamie Klein from the 5th District have really helped put our website together. But we've all kind of worked as a crew. As you see on the website, there's people's bios, there's their pledges. We're really doing a great job of vetting. And we have tons. I keep getting get boxes delivered to my doorstep every day. I got this big, huge box of candy. I got this big box of cards. There's 10,000 cards there maybe. And then we're having our kids staple these little candies to the cards and hand out and stuff. So we put them to work too. Here, you can have one. Do you like gummy or do you like peppermint? Gummy. Here you go. There you go. You got a gummy.
Nice.
Here, take two. We got plenty of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and then someone dropped off about all of these. They're using our website, and this is paid for by citizens wanting to make America great again.
Wow.
But what I'd really like to talk about is the grassroots kind of effort that this is. You know, most of the people on this list were recruited by the Trump campaign early on, and as Mr. Trump said, it's a movement. So this isn't about campaigns or anything like this. It's a movement, and it's not going to be stopped. And we had a very generous donor, Leslie Rossi, and she has been very generous. She sent a lot of this stuff, but there's been other donors as well. And Matthew Jansen, he needed signs, right? So she ordered 500 signs for him. And I said, "Okay, Matt, we're going to meet halfway. You're in York, PA. I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm not driving all the way out there." So I met Leslie on the way, and we loaded an SUV more than I thought. It's like a circus car. I didn't think you could fit that many signs in it. And then Matt says, "Gabe, I only got my car." So I'm like, "Oh, I have my change of clothes. I didn't bring anything to, change into or stay overnight or anything." So I ended up having to drive all the way out there. And I walked in to Trump HQ in Harrisburg, and I was amazed. This woman, Lisa Patton, she donated her whole sports facility. It's multiple. There was soccer there. There was, I think, there was skating. There was all kinds of stuff going on there. And they just had such a well-organized operation. And a gentleman by the name of Steve Johansson, he started a movement called MAG, and that's where this T-shirt comes from, right? And he's the co-founder. He does have a partner in it, but these T-shirts, Hillary for Prison 2016, all of the profits from this go to LLS, which is the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So this is Steve and this is Steve and Lisa Patton donating her facility, and then Ron, working out of the facility there, gave me this pin that he spent a great deal of effort making hundreds and hundreds of these America's Trump card, and I was like, wow, this isn't there's no campaign here. This is Campaign HQ, and you know what? They're handing out our website, our card, our list, and we're all grassroots, and we're kind of all working together. I actually met Steve in Pittsburgh the week before at another media event that Mr. Trump attended, and he was a wild one. But it's cool. It's it's kind of part of the whole excitement of changing things and making America great again. Getting rid of the Washington cartel and bringing it back to the people, and making us win again.
Why did you sort of start this effort?
It happened by default, actually. So as I mentioned, most of us were contacted by the Trump campaign early on, and I think they probably felt the need to kind of stay independent of the delegate process, but wanted to encourage us to participate and become delegates because they knew we were Trump supporters and very strong Trump supporters. So really the next contact I had, so I started doing these campaign cards. You can have one of these. So this was my original, so I started this campaign on my own to become a delegate, and then Tricia Cunningham from the Pittsburgh office reached out to me to speak at their office opening. It was a press conference at their office opening, and whenever I spoke there, which I independently recorded the video with a separate video crew. You can find it on our website under news and events. The website's delegatesfortrump.com. I'm sure you'll have that at the bottom, but delegatesfortrump.com, news and events, Gabriel in the media, and you'll find my original speech there, kind of enlightening people on this process that none of us are aware of. Even seasoned politicians weren't aware of it because it's been a beauty contest for many, many years. It's the race is decided. The nominee is figured out by the time it reaches Pennsylvania. And it's not that the voters aren't educated, they've never needed to be educated, and everyone's eyes lit up and everyone's jaws dropped and got very excited about it. And then I started saying, well, but that's the most important thing, is educating the voter. It doesn't matter whether you're Trump, Kasich, or whoever you are, it's educating the voter first, then they can make their decision. Then it's which delegates to pick, which is the kind of what we're into right now, because there's so many lists going around. So I kind of started trying to vet the process, and through vetting this process, I got to know all of the Trump supporting delegates across the state. We're on a first name basis. We call one another. I just got a phone call from one right as you were pulling in. I said, I got to get off. We really have gotten to be a close knit crew, and really strongly support Trump. And our key thing is to get past not have to go past that first ballot. And hey, Mr. Trump, he recruited us. We've been loyal to him. We have committed to being loyal to him, and just as he did with Mr. Lewandowski, he's a man of firm commitment, and he speaks very highly of loyalty. And I'm absolutely convinced he's going to be loyal to us as well and ensure that we get elected. I have no doubt about that. And our goal is some of these districts are lost. In District 1, there's 3 candidates. In District 2, there's 4 candidates. 2 are Cruz supporters. The other 2 are uncommitted. So we're saying, vote for the 2 that are uncommitted. They might not be, we're Trump from the first ballot to the end, but they're your best pick, And the 14th district, that's downtown Pittsburgh, there's only 3 there. And if you look at these districts on the election info website, you'll see that all of these delegates were challenged in those districts and just thrown off the card. So there were a lot more there, but who's to say where the challenges? I mean, I'm sure the research would expose that, but it could have been Jeb challenging Rubio supporters, and it's just really confusing for the voter. And our goal is to educate the voters on the best selections to make to ensure that Mr. Trump does not have to even go to a second ballot.
You didn't have, there wasn't as much of a Trump presence here when you started organizing, though. I mean, that was my understanding, was part of the reason you did.
Well, yes, but I think there's certainly merit in that, because if you look at any of these campaigns, it's not just the Trump campaign. They're in Iowa, and they're all about Iowa. And then if you notice, while the whole Iowa caucus thing was going on, Mr. Trump spent a great deal of time in New Hampshire, and so there's kind of that initial blitz whenever it's there's a later blitz whenever next week's that election, but leading up to it, there becomes campaign stops and things like that. I was really surprised that the Trump campaign reached out to us as early as they did. So we were all contacted in early December, and this wasn't, I mean, Pennsylvania's not even thought of as even being part of the primary, because like I said, it's typically decided but by the time it gets here.